Hello everyone and welcome back to the Smogon YouTube channel. This is Gold Mason back for another SPL commentated set. This time I'm joined by XeniaX, and we are going to be covering the SM game between GeniusX and Tace. How are you doing, XeniaX?
Hi Mason, I'm doing good. I'm Zinnia and I am finally on to record a Sun and Moon SPL video on the Smogon channel. This is a week 9 game between GeniusX and Tace. Both of the teams are already through, so this is more of just a battle for the honor of it. But from GeniusX's side, it does look like he's still taking it serious. Like he's got some big threats with the Lele and the Zam, the Volcarona. That's a legit offensive core. And Tace's team, he kind of just like took the EO store sample and he replaced T-Tar with a Gliscor. And like considering that the main Lele answer on this team is Mega Aggron, which has like awful healing, and also the Mega Alakazam check is like clicking T-Wave with Clefable or Slowbro, then he's probably going to regret making that change. It's definitely in favor of GeniusX. Like, I mean, even though Gastrodon is there to like completely wall the Rotom's momentum, it can just get doubled on anyway. So I'd expect GeniusX to have the edge here.
Absolutely, and I'd love to hop right into this just to see how that goes. Let's take a look at the first turn.
So in this lead matchup, this is actually like the best lead matchup that Tace could have into the Rotom, because rather than hard switching in the Gastrodon, he U-turns, which stops GeniusX from being able to double into like a Lele or an Alakazam. So that's the safest way to get your Gastro in against Rotom.
Gotcha. It does click that U-turn, like you mentioned. Gonna see that, yep, Gastrodon come in and blocks the Volt Switch.
Yeah, so Gastro pretty much just has to concede Wisp always. Same with Psyspam, but that can refresh.
Alright.
I'm taking that.
I was gonna ask if it's okay taking that chip long term, but I mean,
yeah, it's got lefties, and the thing with like Gastro and Seismitoad is that they could basically do their job at like 7% health, because they don't actually need any health to check Rotom.
Gotcha.
It does help to be healthy against Magearna, but Burn is fine.
Gotcha. Alright, and we're gonna see probably Rotom double out here. I always forget that Burn was nerfed in later generations, so that 6% makes a lot more sense.
Yeah, so Magearna comes hard in, which is kind of confusing. But then it starts to make sense. On this next turn. Energy Ball comes out, so I mean, that is definitely not like a bullshit move on Magearna. Like, it has plenty of targets, like Gastro, Seismitoad, Swampert, and like, considering GeniusX went hard into the Magearna, then like, I feel like Tace could have expected something fishy was gonna come, because Gastrodon checks Magearna. Magearna doesn't come hard in most of the time.
Yeah, probably should have maybe scouted for that. I'm not sure what the Magearna switch-in would be, but I guess we're probably about to see as Gastrodon gets swapped out here
Yeah, Tace's team actually is kind of shit into Magearna. I mean, Ice Beam is a pretty safe click. It's everything decently enough, and would just finish off the Gastro.
And instead it catches that Tornadus. Tace is definitely on the back foot here, my god. Turn 5.
Yeah, it's being pressured by like a defensive Magina. That's kind of whack.
Gonna get some health back on that Tornadus with Regenerator and go to Clefable. But that gives GeniusX the momentum as Gliscor comes
Yeah,
in.
Volt is pretty free there. Tace would never go to his Gliscor, and you just want to get the chip on Clefable. The freest Toxic Orb activation. Now you can now GeniusX can like bring Gliscor hard into Gastrodon, or like a Knock Gliscor, a Slowbro, Knock Clef. Like it opens up Gliscor massively. Not being able to have its Toxic Orb interfered with.
Absolutely. Oh, pardon me. Absolutely. And we're going to see a taunt to stop the Stealth Rock.
Taunt is definitely not like mainstream. Like it's definitely respected as like a good option, but yeah, Taunt is specifically for this kind of passive Pokemon like Clefable and Chansey, where you can shut down their hazards, their healing. Yeah, it's a pretty cool option.
And
but with Rocks and Taunt, you're kind of showing that you don't have Knock. Because I mean, if you did have Knock, that would be an incredibly greedy Gliscor. You'd have to drop probably Roost for that. So Tace now feels safe going into his Gliscor and getting his Toxic Orb.
and trades it for Stealth Rock,
So Taunt again is a pretty good play. You kind of shut down most of what his Gliscor can go for. And you see, it's just a typical Sword Stance, which is a good option for bulky teams like Taces. And if it's able to set up, it could be a massive threat to GeniusX, because it's pretty hard to kill it cleanly. You have to just rely on Rotom for a while, but that won't last forever. So pretty clutch to have Taunt in this matchup.
yeah, absolutely. And GeniusX goes for an Earthquake here.
Yeah, so I tried to rack my head around this one. I thought it's like either some awkward way to like try and sacrifice your Gliscor slowly, or like just trying to stall out PP from the Gliscor. But yeah, either way, it does look like a pretty boneheaded move. It's definitely not the end of the world though.
Yeah, and
Not at all.
it does scout out a little bit of like the move set from Tace. I mean, you know, it's a Swords Dance set, but you can see whether it's like Ice Fang or like Facade here, I'm assuming.
Yeah.
So
It's just burning a turn. That's true.
yeah, so we're gonna see another one though.
He's just not respecting his own turns.
I'm assuming we're gonna see Taunt on this next turn, and Tace actually takes the opportunity to go to Slowbro.
Yeah, Slowbro comes in. It doesn't really care about being taunted once it's this high.
Looks Future Sight. So,
Yeah, Future Sight is pretty common tech on Slowbro. It's seen with Psyche and Z a lot, but in this case it's a leftover Future Sight. On these fat teams, it's not necessarily about like assisting like some massive breaker. It's more about just like forcing damage on Pokemon, and like making sure they can't come in for certain turns. Like you're able to control the game with Future Sight pretty much. And when you pair that with like potentially Dragon Tail Aggron, then you can force damage on stuff.
I didn't even think about Dragon Tail Aggron, to be honest with you. I hadn't even really noticed this guy sitting in the back corner there.
Yeah, it's probably not Dragon Tail Aggron, but it might be. It's been seen with Future Sight.
I look forward to seeing him in this game, but now we're probably going to see a switch, right? Maybe, well, Gastrodon can't come in super safely.
Yeah, Gastrodon could just get doubled on. Slowbro just wants to keep scolding because Gastrodon is just a pretty abusable, but we see Iapapa on the Magearna gives it a little bit more longevity. Not infinite amount. I mean, Burn is still chipping away at a very finite amount of HP, but it's still in the game for now.
Yeah, very cool. Another kind of a new lease on life for that Magearna. We're gonna see Tapu Lele come in on a Volt Switch, take that.
Yeah, it just slacks off on the Volt Switch damage is fine. The Future Sight damage is like pretty good damage because of Psychic Terrain.
Makes sense.
And now he just goes for a Moonblast. I mean, there's a decent amount that Slowbro could do to actually threaten Lele a lot, like T-Wave or stuff. But yeah, just goes for a Scold.
Gotcha. Forces more damage on this Tapu Lele, which is not recovering with leftovers. So, but that Moonblast did 58%. My gosh.
Yeah, the Lele's not switching into anything anymore.
Will purely be used as a breaker for the rest of this game?
Yeah, it can't like pivot in on or like switch directly into like even passive Pokemon. It's that low, but yeah, it still can find use picking up Okos and such.
Alright. We're gonna see Gliscor come in on presumably another Moonblast. 45%.
Yeah, the Moonblast into the Psyshock. There are variants of Gliscor that might be faster than a Modest Lele, but definitely not facade variants. The point of fast Gliscors are to Ice Fang before the opposing Gliscor can Ice Fang you. Yeah, so most Gliscor with Sword Stance you would see pretty slower than Lele.
Yeah, and it gets owned by that Psyshock. You're gonna see Tornadus come in now. Kind of threatening. Rotom.
Yeah, it's pretty much like the best way to revenge the Lele. Everything else is slower. It's like the least punishing way to revenge the Lele.
Yeah, and we're gonna see Magearna come in on a defog actually. Holy.
Yeah, Tace predicting the Lele not wanting to waste itself. And then you turns out a little bit more chip. And Volt Switch is always the play, because like it's useless going Gastro. You'd like Volt Switch to chip the Clefable. Gliscor is back in, and it's just completely in control for Tace. Oh, for GeniusX at this point, Tace is completely in being controlled by the Gliscor.
Yeah, and there's not that free Gliscor switch in now, and Taunt will keep the Stealth Rock off the field. So
yeah, these kind of passive teams, they just get eaten alive by Taunt, and I think that Taunt is it's definitely going to start to be more utilized now because Cresselia is you take passive mons like Slowbro, Chansey, and Clef, and you turn it up to 1,000. This shit gets away with running Psyshock plus Ice Beam in Sun and Moon with Mega Marwa, Magearna, Volcarona, everything that can just completely abuse it. It gets away with this, and I think that Taunt is probably going to see a more rise in usage. I've been enjoying spamming Mega Alakazam and Lele, both Taunt, because of just the shutting down of these passive team styles. Yeah,
Yeah.
this Gliscor is really delivering it in a handbasket for GeniusX.
Yeah, and we're going to see Tornadus come back in on another Stealth Rock, so a good prediction there as
Yeah,
well.
its defog was wasted.
Yep. We're going to see Defog come back out from Tornadus and actually taunt from the Gliscor.
Yeah, the rocks can just be forced. The Hurricane does quite good damage.
Yeah,
You do not want to
51%.
stay in here because, like, if you look at Tace's team, then like Clefable, Gastro, Slowbro, Mega Aggron, Gliscor. You've seen that the Slowbro's leftovers, and I'm pretty sure the Clefable's revealed leftovers, right?
Yes.
So there's only one Z candidate left, and that would be Tornadus. And I mean, yes, it could be Fightinium Z, or maybe some like whack shit like Icium, which it would have already clicked, or maybe like Firium, Grassium. But most likely it's going to be Flyinium, which would be able to pick off Gliscor from this range.
And are you going
So
to
if you want to
Magirna
keep
here?
Gliscor, yeah,
Okay.
I think I'd probably go to Magina, Rotom, just something to soak up. And not when to waste it immediately, just goes to the knockoff. U-turns out, that's an extra 22% chip on the beginner with burns involved. Just sacrifice the useless Gastrodon.
Yeah, and gets the Tornadus back in for the finish. Tornadus really just seems to be the last obstacle for GeniusX before running away with this game.
Yeah, its speed is what's doing everything. Seems like that's the problem with a team like Taces in the modern metagame. I mean, he took a sample team that was being used in the current gen, and he replaced one Pokemon, but it's really not fit for use in this in like the rise of Lele Alakazam. It's a very, very prevalent offense style. It's probably the like the premier offense style of the tier. And yeah, this game really just shows how these old teams just can't cut it anymore.
Absolutely. So we're actually going to see probably the Magirna go down here. Oh, Flyinium clicked.
Yeah, Flyinium, finally McKinnon is in range of it, so you can just get the clean KO. Yeah, you can just defog on the Rotom because the Volt doesn't kill.
This
But
guy,
now the Zam is in and it just gets to claim one.
yeah, I was about to say he looks incredibly threatening.
Yeah,
Especially after
from the beginning,
Yeah.
this Taste team, he removed the Assault Vest T-Tar from the old sample, which was kind of the only reason that it didn't just get fucked by Alakazam. So now that he's facing Alakazam, yeah, he doesn't have any faster Pokemon. He barely even has a check to it. Like, I mean, maybe like a Gastrodon or like a Spadef Clef could be argued for it. But yeah, Alakazam is only kept in check by not OHKOing things and being hit back by like T-Wave and stuff. So it's really not looking good for Tace, and it doesn't seem like it'll last much longer.
Yeah, one thing to note that I keep forgetting is that now in SM, the speed comes on the turn you Mega, right?
Yeah, so Tornadus in Auras, then it could have 375 speed, and that speed the 375 Alakazam, and like maybe like just completely fuck it with like a crit, a mega crit, Sky Strike twice PP, and yeah, it can't do that anymore. Zam can just get its like It's 438 speed, like completely outspeeds the whole tier. The unboosted metagame. It just gets that instantly, which is something huge that Alakazam has going for it that it didn't have before.
Yeah, and it's going to shoot this Slowbro with something. Big Psychic. Only does 35%.
Yeah, Psychic. 35 is quite good for a resisted move. And what that Psychic does do is it just puts it into range. I'm gonna check right now. I'm pretty sure that would be like a modest, but I'm gonna calc. Yeah, so 35, either that's something with his Slowbro, but like most likely it's a modest Alakazam, which means that it's kind of giving up like the outspeeding like some really fast stuff like Megalopony. Like it's giving up that, it's giving up that sort of stuff, but it's only dropping to 399, which is evolved Astra Ninja speed, which is definitely not bad. Modest is a pretty strong option.
And does that mean that the follow-up Shadow Ball will kill?
Shadow Ball kind of just roasts Slowbro's ass anyway.
Okay.
Yeah, I was just yapping. Yeah, Slowbro is not an Alakazam check. You can like take a Shadow Ball, is fine, and like 2-wave it back, but it's too chip for this, definitely.
Yeah, and we're gonna see probably no, just lets it go. Down Slowbro goes, and Aggron comes in.
Yeah, Aggron comes in. It can live a hit from Alakazam, so yeah, it just runs there. And Tace has to start making doubles. He wants to get like maybe rocks up.
Yeah, I assume that the Clef double is purely to it was to scare Alakazam out and then grab rocks, which
yeah, but it's definitely too little, too late. Because you just Volt Switch out to the Rona on the rocks. And the Rona is in. It kind of, like, depending on set, it kind of just did this from the beginning.
Yeah, wow.
The only thing that needed to watch out for was like some Gliscor trading damage with it. Like Gastrodon is like being the right set, like with Clismog. Maybe like Aggron having the right move to hit it. But yeah, Volcarona, if it was able to get in safely, had just a great time offensively.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, there was still the threat of the Lele setting the Psychic Surge into Alakazam just blowing everything up as well, right? So
yeah. So I think maybe one of the worst teams seen this SPL. This EO edit with Gliscor. I'm sorry, but yeah, probably just one of the worst things seen in this SPL. It's not adapted to the modern metagame. Probably wasn't even adapted to the current gen metagame, really. And yeah, GeniusX definitely deserved to get this week 9 win.
yeah, absolutely. And as you mentioned, sorry, go ahead.
We're gonna see them both in the playoffs. The Wolfpack and the Classiest, if I remember correctly. I'm not like a big SPL head. I don't own any merch, but I'm pretty sure that they're both in the playoffs. I know the congregation are doing really well.
Yeah, so the Classiest are in the playoffs, and the Wolfpack are, as well as the Tyrants and the Tigers. So
yeah, so this may be like a little snapshot of the SM we're gonna see in the playoffs. Hopefully not.
I I do believe that the Wolfpack is playing the Tigers this week, so we're not going to see a rematch of GeniusX versus Tace yet in the finals,
Yeah,
or in the
maybe
semifinals.
it'll be the real finals.
Possible. Tace will get to run it back, maybe with a different team.
Yeah, I hope to see the redemption arc in the final.
Absolutely. Well, thank you, Zinnia, for joining me and for breaking down this game. It was an interesting one.
No worries. Yeah, it was a really enjoyable time coming on the channel. If you did enjoy my commentary, then there will be a link to my YouTube channel below. And I'll pass this back to Gold Mason to show you out.
Absolutely. Thank you, everybody, for joining us. This has been Gold Mason and Zinnias on the Smogon YouTube channel, breaking down another SPL commentated set, and we will see you next time.